Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin broke above this green target area for a wave 4. You can see, however, how relevant it indeed was, but it decided to break above. And I gave you a key scenario that I think will unfold if we go above 20.5K in the previous video. Now, this is the overall bearish scenario for Bitcoin. And we can see still here on the chart a massive bear flag. This wave count would suggest that Bitcoin has not finished its overall correction, that we will need one more lower low. Of course, Bitcoin doesn't make it easy for us, and therefore it is also possible to count this entire wave pattern as bullish. And we're going to take a look at the bullish scenario as well. For now, however, the bullish scenario is the one that I find least likely. So I told you which scenario will get live for me if we go above 20.5K. We basically here have now three possibilities on the bearish wave count side. What makes the bearish wave count more likely for me is also that, first of all, we came down quite impulsively here. But also that we are in a bear flag, in basically a channel, a trend continuation pattern, which would actually in most cases be solved to the downside. And yeah, in also that various bullish scenarios that we kept tracking on this channel over the last couple of weeks were invalidated as well. So what is now for me the most likely scenario? So I gave you in the previous video my view that should we go above 20.5K. So the primary expectation in the previous video was that we were reversing in the green target area, which, to be honest, we already did, but then found support there within the channel and started to move higher. So this was the primary expectation, direct sell-off to the downside. Didn't happen, but it decided to break above 20.5K. Therefore, the other bearish alternative is now getting live. This one is this one here, where we moved up in a wave W, we came down in an X, moved up in a Y. So far, everything the same as in the previous scenario. However, we count this as a corrective wave, X, and there will be another wave to the upside, Z, which would then result in a sell-off to the downside. So this whole move will be moving to here, okay? So I told you if we go above 20.5K, it will be likely that we will then move up to 22K, this swing high, and maybe from there even higher. Now we need now to be careful. It has not the previous scenario, the previous primary. So this is now my primary, okay? W, X, Y, X, Z, where we just move up in a corrective wave before we start the sell-off. We need to be careful. Don't think the previous primary expectation has been invalidated. It has become less likely because you would normally not expect in a wave 4 the price to move so high, to break the 50% FIB retracement here at 20,500. However, strictly, it will not be invalidated until we get to $21,130. That is when the wave 4 will break into wave 1 price range. Expect some resistance there, but above that level, only then it will be invalidated, which means I will not completely delete this scenario, but it has become less likely. Now, another scenario, bearish as well, which can play out here is that all of this down here was already, and I'll just mess around here a little bit with the chart, yeah, forgive me about that, but that all of this was already a 5-wave move to the downside. We can count it like that as well by taking out one of these subwave structures. And that indeed we are now moving up, but that this here then was a wave 1 to the downside, and that we are now moving up in a wave 2 to the upside, where we would then start a wave 3 sell-off to the downside. So basically this would look like a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. So also in this scenario, I would expect more upside, but we could start potentially the sell-off earlier. Now, I find currently that Z wave to the upside more likely, but this is also an absolute valid scenario. So again, you can see there's a lot of uncertainty here currently in the market, a lot of scenarios possible. In this scenario that I just showed you, we could without a problem move to 21,150. reverse there. I mean, we've now reached the 50% fib retracement level based on this wave count. But we could also move here to without a problem to 22k. For me at the moment, until we go above 23.3k, any of these bearish scenarios still very much possible. Again, the Z wave to the upside is my primary one, then the one with the wave 2 to the upside, and then the one with the wave 4 that is going up a little bit too high. But all of these would in the end go down. Therefore, I give the primary, the move to the downside at the moment that we will make a lower low below 17,500, still a 75% probability. Now looking at the bullish count, possible as well. Yeah, I warned you that we can still be here on the bullish side and we can track it, and it's an absolute valid wave count as well. Very similar based on this wave count. We've completed also 5 waves to the downside, a wave 2 here. We would now start a wave 3 to the upside. The wave 3 would normally be the most bullish one, and we can calculate a target. It means that in this wave 3 now, we've already done the first wave, the second wave, we are now in the third wave, which means we are in the third wave of the third wave, which should normally be quite bullish. Target for that, we can calculate that easily. That would be 22,000 US dollars. And there you can see the tricky bit. Yeah, you can see how tricky that is, because in the bearish scenario, I told you we get to 22k, and in the bullish one as well. This is tricky, and therefore this reflects the uncertainty currently in the market. Nevertheless, this scenario for me the least likely one, but therefore I also told you, should we go above 20.5k, I would expect 22k in any scenario. So then we get a 4 down and a 5 up, and all of this, you know, for me, still this resistance level, the most relevant one. Only above this level, I would increase the probability for a bullish breakout. And we're talking here not just that we break out above that level, no, I'm talking here about that the low has already been in for Bitcoin. At the moment, I give the bullish scenario 25% probability, based on the fact that we're in a bear flag, based on the fact that this is not ideal, how this is looking like. Yeah, we have strong retracements, which on the other hand is normal in an early uptrend. But there are just a lot of bearish scenarios which are still possible. And unless we see here a more of a trend change signal, in a sense that we are breaking above this key resistance level, I'm remaining focused on the downside. But we are tracking the bullish scenario, of course, because it's a very critical area here, a very critical time, a possible turnaround space, possibly the highest probability for a turnaround within the last 8 months since I started to cover the bearish wave count for Bitcoin, with a target below 28.6k. Now that target has been achieved. Since then, we need to be on the lookout. We now therefore need to be on the lookout for a possible trend change, either now or after one more significant swing low here in the bearish scenario. But I think we are very close to the low. Bear in mind, the pi cycle bottom indicator for Bitcoin has flashed as well. Let's just add that here. That is a very interesting indicator that historically has flashed within 3 days accuracy when the cycle bottom was in. Yeah, that's the cycle low, and this is flashed yesterday. So from that point of view, we can be here on the lookout for upside, but this doesn't mean it has to go up now. It could very well crash in the next few days. This is only one indicator, doesn't mean it needs to be always correct, but you can see where the pi cycle bottom was flashing for the last time. Yeah, that would have been an interesting one, and before that it flashed here. Yeah, and this was also the cycle low. So this is an interesting one. So it worked out twice in the past. Bear in mind, it never existed before 2015 to my knowledge. But if you apply the calculation now, it would have flashed always perfectly at the low, and it has just flashed again. That is a strong signal, in addition to all the other strong bullish signals that we get of Bitcoin indicators. There are so many Bitcoin indicators which are currently flashing buy. But on the Elliott waves, yes, possible uptrend, but not confirmed yet. Okay, for now, therefore, because it's not confirmed, we have to remain careful and on the side of caution, and therefore highly expected another low. But it's best to keep both options open here at the moment, yeah, because we are in a possible turnaround space. Okay, so hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.